another
Ooh.
episode. Welcome back.
Ooh. The shimmer. The shimmer.
It gets me every time.
It does. It really does. Big fan.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 6, I believe.
This is number
Of
6.
the
I
Detail
almost
Ground
labeled it
podcast.
number 5, but I don't want to seem like a complete new
almost.
podcaster.
I like the festivity in the background there. The old little Christmas
Thank you.
tree.
The tree with the hat.
Yeah, it's a little thin, but that's okay.
It is my Charlie Brown
it's
tree.
proper.
It's not the main one. So
do you guys rock a couple trees, like one in that room, one in like the living room area?
Yeah, and then there's
area?
like a baby one on the dresser in the bedroom.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're all out.
Yeah, there's festivity all around, and then like we have a lot of those hue lights, so a lot of reds and greens around the house sometimes.
Beautiful. I like that. Yeah.
Well, how's your week been?
It's good. It's been a pretty busy work week. We haven't quite hit that plateau of people who fully check out for the holidays yet.
I'm already
because there's I don't know why. I don't know why the U.S. decides to keep working from Thanksgiving onward to the New Year, because I feel like productivity is just way down, depending on what industry you're in, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I think for the next, because the next week's really the next full week. And then after that, it's just kind of a mismatch. So it's kind of Akko Taco this year with Christmas and like Christmas Eve, because you got like, you go to work on the Monday and then you got like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, and then you're back on the Friday. So
yeah.
I mean, I'll take what I can get, but
we have I think I'm off from like the 21st or 22nd, like through the new year. So I'm pretty stoked about that, to hopefully the weather's good so I can wash some stuff and maybe make a little content. Maybe that last final push for Grandambassador of the Year.
That's right.
That last week,
punch that ticket, because we're already at the end of the year, and then Anthony is faced with the challenge of who do I pick. So I've
heard whispers that he doesn't even want to choose one this year. He just wants to
I think that's part of the delegation process for him. That's probably what he's going to end up doing. But yeah, it's been a good week, and I'm excited to see who the winner is, whoever it is. But next Friday on episode 7, it's gonna be big. Okay, you don't want to miss that. We're not gonna say who it is yet.
I already forgot who it is.
But you're
I can't wait till that pops back in my head.
Yeah. The only hint I'm gonna get is it's people's Saturday morning entertainment. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all we're gonna say.
Oh, I remember now.
Yep, there it is.
Right on.
There it is. So
right on.
You don't want to miss that. But man, the chat is absolutely popping right now.
Chat's popping. We got 26 people. Shout out to all
Mike G. Mike G's off for the next 17 weeks.
They don't need people to build rockets, I guess.
That's right.
Until then. So,
but Santa's sleigh's got its own help from the reindeer. He doesn't need Mike's help.
Oh no.
I do say though, I do have to apologize ahead of time to everyone. I know last week, when I mentioned we're probably going to be doing a winter reset last weekend. The weather was looking hot and ready, like a Little Caesars pizza for Saturday morning. And what did we get? We had pouring rain and snow. So
and lots of wind.
A metric boatload of wind. This past April, because I have 6 of these, like they're kind of these tall, skinny trees in my backyard.
Yep.
And so I face north, and we always get west winds. And so, tall, skinny trees with the west wind is usually a bad time. And last year, I actually had a tree fall over. And luckily, I didn't do any damage, but they're just tall and skinny. Like, they're pretty light. But ever since then, I've had PTSD of whenever it's windy, that more trees are going to fall down.
Yes.
They were on their way out anyway. So I got those taken care of this week. So if you,
my biggest fear of leaving my car outside is a tree during a storm.
But if you guys know a good arborist in your area, definitely befriend them, because those guys are amazing people.
My next door neighbor.
Oh, dang.
He does all kinds of landscaping. He knows every type of tree, like the back of his hand. He knows when it needs to be trimmed, from what angle. It's wild. He's very intelligent when it comes to that.
I know they're very different trades, but I kind of put arborists and like paintless dent repair guys in the same class.
Yes,
because it's an art form, if you will. And
people, I appreciate every single one of you for being here.
I do. We cracked a little bit of a milestone in terms of our subscribers. Which
we did. We broke. We got like 220 people or something like that now.
I think it's. I'm checking the live stats. 225.
225. They went up 5.
Yeah, it's kind of nice when you don't have to pay attention to it or don't want to pay attention to it. Like
we don't
have the budget to buy that crowd.
I see it every couple of weeks. I check the follower number and I go, oh, that's cool. Like, but yeah, it's not something like I monitor on the daily.
But I appreciate everyone watching. I mean, if you've watched us, and I know Joe and I have been working on trying to get this on your favorite musical platforms, whether that's Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. I know there's a lot of platforms for podcasts nowadays, just like there are a lot of podcasts. But I mean, we enjoy every one of you for being here. You guys can watch all of them. We don't care. We watch them too.
No, and you know what? I'm even more grateful that of all the places that our guests, all the podcasts that our guests could have gone on, because she can pick whatever she's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
She chose us, and like, how cool is that?
Oh, it's amazing. It's probably one of the kindest people I've met in person. We both met her in person, so what do you say we bring her on and show the people who she is?
If they don't know who she is,
there's a problem. Get out.
There's a problem.
We stay.
No, please learn her story. Let's bring her on. We don't have any like cool intros because we're not, we're still babies.
Yeah, that's right.
But
maybe the new year,
ladies and gentlemen,
maybe the new year. Hey,
Sydni Brae Gwinn.
Hello.
Hi, Sydni.
How are you guys?
Doing fantastic.
We're doing great. We're doing great, especially now that you're here.
I think this is one of the first looks at the new cabinet array, because you had a little bit of a makeover.
I've only seen like peeks of it.
Look at that sign that Sticker Mafia made me. It's so cool. I haven't hung it up
yet,
but it's so cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
You have all the
a girl for
up
people
there
not watching
in Idaho.
Yep, it's pretty cool.
Man. So how have you been, Sydni? How's your week going? Like leading, you've had there's been SEMA, there's been Thanksgiving, there's Christmas coming. How's everything going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. Every week I think that my week's gonna slow down or next week's gonna be, easier, and every week gets not harder, but just busy, And obviously I'm a mom, so Christmas is coming up. What is it, like 10 days away now, and I have not even barely started buying gifts, so that's entertaining. Usually I'm very on it, but I have an 19-year-old and a 16-year-old, and I get them everything they need all year round, so I have no idea what to get them.
The worst.
Yeah, I almost said what I got them, but then I think Delaney might be watching and/or will watch this later.
Shout out to Delaney.
Man, like she is. I don't know if she's like normally stealthy on the day-to-day, but yesterday watching the Q&A at TRC, we're watching, we're listening. They had Jamie there from Dirty
Old Cars. Yeah.
Dirty Old Cars. Wow, that name escaped me. And then they're just chatting, and then all of a sudden it's like Delaney says, I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, she's right there. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. No, she watched it live yesterday. She was in there adding her commentary all day, and everybody, she had everybody laughing. She had some stuff to say. Yeah, It was funny. I can't repeat what she said, but she made a real snarky comment, and Jimmy looked at me and he said, she gets that from you, right? I was like, whoa.
I think it's been like about a year since we had Delaney on a podcast and had a little chat with her. So
yeah, she's
because I think it was about a year ago now that I met you at P&S.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's a little bit more sassy now. She's a college student and all.
I was gonna say it's the college life increases the sass.
That's new sass.
She's got some stuff to say.
Freshman sass.
There's some nice comments in here that I still wish we could favorite them, but there's some nice comments for Sydni here. Like Ryan says that I got to meet Sydni here. I'm going to put myself on the bottom here because who cares? I got to meet Sydni at the Southern Detailers Conference about 3 years ago. She was super nice. taught us her wash clay seal technique, and it was mind blowing.
Yes. Well, it was nice to meet you, Ryan. That does seem like forever ago. That Southern Detailers Conference. That was a good time, and I had some good food on that trip.
Shout out to Wash Clay Seal, though. I mean,
yeah, right.
That's kind of taken over now. I mean, like, is that going to be the in thing for 2025 to really take over? Who knows?
And shout out to
you've been doing it forever. Short amount of time. Yeah. Oh yeah, forever.
Sydney's the one that inspired me to do it, and like it's like she says, it's literally the most popular thing that people opt for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my moneymaker. Hi, Fred.
Shout out to Fred.
What's up, Fred? And you know what? Shout out to everyone who cares how much Bead Maker that Sydney throws on the panel when she's doing it. Like, who cares?
Right. Like, what is it like? You know, where it's like eat more chicken, like use more Bead Maker.
Exactly. There's enough Bead Maker around to everybody.
Now, seriously, why do people get offended by that? That is the most ridiculous thing. Like,
it's
anyway, next question.
Next question. There we go.
Okay, sorry, I won't start off so spicy. I'll we can ease into that.
Mike G, she did not use enough. That's right.
No.
There we go.
Right. Yeah. I hate to break everyone's heart, but I use way more when I'm at home.
Yep.
We've seen the garage videos. I've seen that. It just smells like Bead Maker in there permanently.
Right. Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing. Like, if somebody had like a beer keg on tap at their house, right? Would you drink more beer than if you had to buy it by the can?
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably, right? So
when the Dr. Pepper's stocked in the fridge, I'm drinking them. That's why I don't keep them in the fridge that often.
So imagine if you have you seen those like at-home soda dispensers? I want one so bad.
Yeah.
I would drink more soda if I had one.
I want one of those Coke Freestyle machines. If anyone's got the hookup on those, and I just want to keep like different flavors of Dr. Pepper in it.
Right. Like, what
Bead
do you
Maker
have
watchers
to do
are
to
total
put one of
pocket
those?
watchers.
Yeah.
Hi, Dane.
We're just missing out. Bead Maker is amazing. Use more Bead Maker.
Oh, it's so good. Because we're on what, year 6 of that now? I guess
Bead Maker is probably 8.
Okay.
Probably right around 8. It's been pretty crazy. Yeah. And you know, the funny thing about Bead Maker, I know Bead Maker gets a little bit of hate in the market, but I mean, there's still a lot of people that use it. A lot. So, you know, a lot of people still, it's great. I use it every single day. I can't think of a car that comes through here that I don't in some way or fashion use Bead Maker. So
absolutely.
I still love the scent of it. I still remember the first time I used it. It was in the middle of February. I used it in the garage, and I just soaked down. It was a friend's car that came over, and I just soaked the thing down because it was the first application, and I'm like, YOLO, I don't care. And I'm just like, I want the smell all the time, which now we have in concentrated air fresheners, but it was such a pleasant thing. And I mean, you know, there's been a lot of other sprayable type sealants coming out, which is fine. You know, I've used a lot of them. They're all great. And but I don't know. It's just like that kind of tried and true in the background. I don't care how it performs. It's just you still go back to it.
Right. Well, and that was my other thing is when people say that it wouldn't last, like, who's waiting to put it on that long? Like, you know what I mean? Like, people would say, well, how long do you get out of it? I don't know, because I put it back on like within a couple months. Like, I don't not use it. Like, I love it. You know, I use it as my drying aid on my own cars.
Some people don't put any coatings or anything on their glass. Like, they just top off with Bead Maker constantly. I think Anthony does.
Bead Maker is wild on glass. I mean, I've tried some glass coatings that Bead Maker does work a lot better. And it's so nice when you can drive around without having to use your wipers. And it's a bit of a safety thing too, obviously. But I mean, you know, shameless plug in one of my last videos for the ADS ceramic spray seal. And I was saying, like, you know, if you're using a product that doesn't last forever, then don't worry about it. You can just reapply it. If you want a heavy decon it to make sure any remnants are gone, you can go ahead and reapply it. It takes, what, 4 minutes to go around a car with Bead Maker or something like that, if that. So, like, who cares? Like, just have fun. I mean, how there's so many people now, I think, that want a bottle that lasts 14 years and takes 8 seconds to put on.
Which is so weird to me. which is so weird to me because that's my favorite part of washing a car, right? That's my favorite part is like the finishing step. Why do you not want like a great product to use as an experience at the end, right?
I love when I get done with like the hard work. I'll go inside, maybe like splash some cold water on my face, like cool down a little bit, have something to drink, and then come back out and just do the final, right? Like the final touch up. Like it's almost like the relaxing part, like the cool down of the workout, right?
Yeah. Totally.
That's right. Bergie's throwing that stuff on an IK foamer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd foam it. I don't
know if I'd foam it. Yeah.
I don't want a multi, but I mean, Luke doesn't listen to anybody.
So. Well, there's bead cannon, right? You could put it in the foam cannon, and go absolutely ham with it. If you really want
to talk about going through some Bead Maker. Jeez.
Yeah, you might just siphon it from the 5 gallon.
Right.
Was Kyle kind of the originator of that?
Yeah.
Like, was he? Okay.
Yeah, that was his thing first. Yep, he's the one that tried it. And it's great for RVs, and that's his thing.
Well,
so I would never do that to a car, but absolutely on those big.
I'm not hand applying Bead Maker to an RV, so I think that's a great little shortcut.
And Anna with a great point. Exactly. I like the look, the finishing work. It's physical proof that hard work pays off.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
But sometimes I do hate doing the sun check outside because then like a little bit of dust blows or something. I'm like, it's not perfect now. Like, damn it.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Shout out to Tony M.
Is that the like, Tony M?
Is that the Tony M?
I don't know if anyone else to say yes, it's me.
Oh.
So.
Hi, Tony.
Yep. But Aaron Bauer reaching out, saw my video about the recent haul from P&S. Anything new that you liked? Dynamic has taken my heart.
Yes.
If you have a Toyota in your neighborhood with TRD wheels, that's all you need. But also, I'm gonna be doing a video here right away. But I tried straight undressed on WeatherTech's. Unfrickin' believable.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yep.
Like straight up. Because it was really cold out. My dad just came over and he's like, hey, I just want to clean out the interior real quick. And then I was like, well, I don't want to use a ton of water in the garage. So I literally just soaked the mats with undressed straight and scrubbed it. And then I literally just like rinsed it with an IK that had Absolute in it in like a little bucket.
Yeah.
And they came out perfect. And I'm like, because I'm so used to hitting rubber mats again. Right? Like once they dry, and I'm like, did this leave something on it? What's wrong? I don't know. And it's perfect. It was absolutely insane. Yeah. So that was definitely one of the things those are two real standouts were undressed and dynamic.
You guys talk about it a lot. I haven't tried either of them yet. So
but you have like wet water and like dribbles. You don't have the slush and the crap and the
I know. But listen, we have our own like if I don't. Maybe I won't like touch my wheels for like a month this winter, and we'll see. But that's those are two products I haven't tried yet.
Well, and you should get it, Joey, because what it's good for is when you're switching tire dressing.
Dressings.
So anytime you switch even brands or whatever, it's like it literally strips your tires. So you should still get it because it's really great, like especially for you where you want to test all those, tire dressings.
God, I'm using so much like tar and glue remover as the final.
Well, because especially the solvent ones, I feel like it attacks it a lot harder than. I mean, obviously, water base is going to be a lot lighter, but kind of tying in with the new and what I liked. We have fine detailing. Sydney, can you give us a lowdown on Stout? I've been eyeing it. So fine detailing is doing some amazing work.
What I learned from Joey's fantastic podcast that he was on this week was that he hates when people say things are amazing. But here's the deal. Stout.
You texted me right away.
Like freaking amazing. And I don't know how else to describe it. I've been thinking about this all week. I don't know how else to describe it. It's freaking amazing.
Oh man. I didn't mean I wasn't like trying to that wasn't like a dig at anybody.
Industry disrupting.
I know. But so the new Stout. So basically Legend was made 5 years ago, right? And raw materials and the industry changes. And so we're just trying to stay ahead or in front of the industry. Because myself, I had switched to using you know, a lot more user-friendly coatings. We knew they were out there, you know, because back in the day, the harder the coating was to put on, the assumption was it would be a harder, more durable coating.
Right.
And you had to be like this crazy trained professional to install it and all this, right? So basically, we spent about a year and a half finding the most perfect, you know, formula that would be easy for the installer, immediate results for the customer, right? Because that's what I want when my customer walks in my shop. I want it, and I'm charging them, you know, $1,500 to $1,000. I want it to look like I just did something to the car, like not say in 5 days it's going to look amazing. I wanted it to be like right now. So super easy install, super quick results. You know, it looks just absolutely like fire. The water behavior is like literally, I know another buzzword, insanity, right? Okay. Total insanity. I'm going to get them all in there, like amazing, insane, all of that.
That's funny. Oh, so funny.
It's just great. And so it is very durable. So it's going to be like in that 5 to 7 year range, depending on, you know, care and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of factors that go into that. So it's a fantastic coating. I'm super excited about it. I'm super passionate about it. It was kind of, you know, my pet project for the last year. And yeah, I'm just super excited about it. So I've already done, I think I've done 3 or 4 classes now, and it's only been out a couple weeks. And what I will say is, though, Bob and I were in Denver last weekend, and we did a class, and it was funny because I said, I almost feel bad now. I feel like we have found the cheat code to doing correction and coating. Because when you pair rehab with Stout, I mean, our classes are half the time.
That's awesome.
No one's frustrated. It's like, it just goes. And so like, it took us less than 40 minutes to coat an entire car the other day in the class. And it normally takes, you know, we usually budget like 2 hours for that part. And then, you know, the installers get to see the reaction right away. I mean, like 1 hour later, it is like slicker than snot. It is crazy. So even our classes are so much easier.
I know that you've used all of the buzzwords that I mentioned, but
and they all are very fitting.
But I think that there's some products that when you use them, you're almost at like a loss for words, right? So like you said, like this is just like how I've been missing this, you know, for how long, and now it's finally like I understand that. It's just the excessive one, like when I don't have any other characteristics.
Totally
you know what I
mean?
Get it.
Like, no, I get it.
Wild
like,
and insane are my only.
The game. No.
That ties into our the next one too.
Yeah.
Sydney, Dewar, and JB, what's something from PNS that you've been wanting to try? I have it. I haven't tried it yet. I was going to bring it up though, but I've been telling like a few of my group chats lately that I don't know if it's like if it comes with age, but like the older I get, like the slightly shinier I think I like my tire dressings. I don't like year by year. It's like 10% more, 10% more. But I have Shine All, and I know it's shiny. And like I'm a little scared to use it, but I'm excited to use it because like I want to see if it's too much donut for me, or if it's just enough shine for my 37-year-old liking.
Have you tried Wipe and Shine yet? The gel?
Yes, I have.
Gel. I do. Yes, I have. That's probably my favorite. Okay.
Isn't that Bob's favorite?
Yeah, I won't say my opinion on Shine All. I'll let you make your own opinion on that.
Okay. You don't want to. Yeah,
but if you like really shiny though, and an interesting experience is dressed. So if you get undressed and then dressed, so it is a silicone-free. Now I'm going to forget what it's made of. I'll think of it, but glycerin based.
Okay.
It's glycerin based. And it is pretty shiny, but it's a really nice finish. But it is totally different than any other tire dressing. But it is one that like you have to fully strip your tire before you switch to it and fully strip it off. So
I've been used to that with Ghost. So like I have my technique down to strip my tires. So
right. Yeah. So it's very, very interesting. It's kind of a fun one to use. If you want a little bit shinier, I would try dressed. It's different. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like I started with just doing 2 layers, and then I was like, well, let me go to a different dressing that's got a little more shine. Then I do 2 layers of that one, and I'm like, okay, I kind of like the shine. And then I see people's pictures with the shine, and I go, I wonder if that would look good on my. I don't know. So I'm just like dabbling in the shiny dressings lately.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
What about you guys? Something you want to try? I know Sydney's tried it all. She's
Actually, I haven't tried it all. I have an answer for this, but I want to hear Alex's first.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I mean I already have like so many coatings that I'm trying to use, but I mean like Stout sounds absolutely insane. But I think for me, I'm really excited for the Express wipes. I don't know why, but it's just like I know wipes aren't for everybody. Oh, it's on tap. Look at that. But like I just think
everything.
Because you guys always talk about like cleaning your shoes with them, and I'm like, that is perfect because I don't want to get a nice towel all dirty. You know, that's just not me. So I'm like, it's enough. I think that you can clean it and just kind of leave it. You don't need to really knock it down any more than that. But even if you do have a rip and rag at the very end that you're not getting totally nasty, I think the wipes are just it.
Oh,
I noticed that my container was moved, and I asked Cole, I was like, did you move this? She goes, yeah, I needed to clean my shoes. I was like, yeah.
I love the wipes, and they're taking the world by storm. We've sold out several times. I did hear that they were getting restocked today on our website, they're so great. Like for cleaning your, like even in the shop, I use them all the time. Like cleaning the tools, getting all the compound off. And like, you know how so many people of us, we all have those retractable cords and stuff. You know, so whether it's your air hose or your extension cords. So before you roll it up, you just put one in your hand, pull it, and then just let it run through. It keeps all your cords clean. So nice.
I do it with my pressure washer hose.
Yeah, I had a Yukon Denali this week that had dogs, and just like there was in all the mat pockets. There was hair, food, sticky stuff.
That is a large vehicle.
Yeah, and you know you vacuum it out, you blow it out with your your air blaster, but in the corners was just piles of hair and stickiness, right? So I grabbed those wipes and just like with my finger just scooped out all that stuff. You would never want that in your normal towels. You would never want it.
That's a thank you for your service towel. Like you're going in the trash.
Definitely.
And so it was so great to like scratch all that stuff out and just throw it away and then get to cleaning. So I use them all the time. And then in my own car, because my car's not dirty, I use them every day just to kind of touch up everything in my car. I freaking love them. I love them. They're so great.
I keep my car very clean, as everyone knows, and and even going over like my steering wheel with one of these wipes, I'm almost like I almost forgot how good Express cleans, right? Because I don't always need to clean my steering wheel with Express because like I keep it clean. But going over it with one of these wipes, I'm like, Joe, you're filthy. Like it did like a deep clean on the steering wheel.
Yeah. So real quick, P&S makes a lot of old school products that I haven't really gotten into. So there's a lot that I haven't used that they do make that kind of go, in car wash industry and stuff like that. But
is it that big mitt?
I don't know.
Is it the big wool mitt?
No, we don't. No, let's not talk about the wool mitt. It's actually, where is it? It's right there. But we're not going to talk about the mitt. So there's one called like Orange Blast or something like that. It only comes in a 5-gallon, and apparently it melts everything off anything.
Ooh,
but you can only get it in a 5-gallon. Yeah, but I'm intrigued by it because it's like whenever I hear about like the worst thing possible, I hear people say you need Blast or Orange Blast or something like that. But it apparently like melts concrete, and I really want to try that someday.
No, that's okay.
I think that's it sounds like it's going to be a Keith question on the next Bead Maker and Coffee.
Shout out to Keith and that wealth of knowledge.
My goodness, right? He keeps it all, man. That is such a smart man.
Ronnie Oates asking me if I use a drill brush when cleaning WeatherTechs. It depends. Sometimes because I like to clean my mats like on a little folding table, so I'm not like hunched over on the ground. But I mean, sometimes even at the low speed, the drill's a little too torquey, and sometimes it's use like a Detail Factory tire brush. And that's usually enough, right? Because if some and Joey knows exactly what I'm talking about, but the Volkswagen Monster mats with like the 8,000 pockets, worst design ever. Like I actually switched. I have those for summer now. I have WeatherTechs for winter because they're just a little bit easier. But I hate
that's really smart. That's really smart.
It's not a fan. But yeah, Mike G's asking, will Stout be the only coating other than glass coating in the PNS lineup?
No, we'll keep the rest. The only one that will probably go away is Legend, honestly, just because we don't need 2 super long-term coatings. So, as we sell through Legend will go away. And that's just basically because that was, we wanted to update that space and have, the best. And honestly, I'm not sure why somebody would choose Stout over Legend. I think there's still going to be a lot of people that love Legend and they got really good at it and all that. And like, more power to them. There's still a lot of people that love Legend. But once they use Stout, it'll be an easy transition for them, for sure. So no, Inspiration Classic will probably get some updates utilizing some of the same raw materials that will make it, not that Classic's not easy to put on, but it doesn't have the show.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Classic is like a cool coating. So it doesn't look real thick. It doesn't have the show, but it's crazy durable. So we'll probably just tweak Inspiration Classic a little bit sometime in 25. And with PNS, we don't make like V2, V3. We just roll it in,
improve,
right?
Yeah.
And so that one will get updated. View will stay. The headlight coating will stay. So nothing will go away other than Legend once, it will fade away. Yeah.
The headlight coating intrigues me. I know.
Yeah, Lucid, I think it's called.
Yeah, I know they fade and there's only like the best way is to replace the damn things, or PPF them. But that's always intrigued me because what I've actually had good luck with is the 3M clear coat wipes. They come in like a box of 40 on Amazon.
Yeah.
And after you've like polished them and got them all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't like get too much on there and they're streaky or whatever. Like I just checked up on one and I think it's been over 2 years at this point and there's very little signs of yellowing. So those have kind of been successful for me.
That Lexus LS430 I did back in the summer. The headlights were trashed, and then I fixed them. Like I bought sandpaper just in case. But I was able to just I threw my H901 rocks in a bottle at them, and then knocked them out, and then I ended up like putting a coating on it. But like when I was talking to him, I said like these headlights are gonna pop. Like I'm gonna clean them up, and we worked that price accordingly. And he was so amazed. He's like, "Here's an extra $50 because now I'm gonna be so much safer." Driving around because I can see, which I think is a huge sell. Like there's, one of the guys I play hockey with has a early 2000s Tacoma. And I mean, it looks like, a banana milkshake. His headlights just look so bad. Yeah. And I want to do them for him. I'm like, let me just borrow your truck for an hour. Let me just do them so that you can see when you drive. Because this is horrendous.
That's usually my first selling point is the safety. I'm like, other than it looks better, like you're going to be able to see a lot better.
So I don't use Lucid, but I think there's a place for it. So Lucid is a headlight coating, but honestly, if you're restoring headlights, you can use any ceramic coating. I mean, any of them that are going to provide UV protection is great. So for me, because I mainly do ceramics, I usually have a little bit of a bottle left over. So I don't need to open, where I think that, where I think and why we targeted that was for people that did specifically headlight restoration. Like that was a big part of their business. So that was a bottle that was a little bit more stable to be opened and closed many times and used in small quantities. But I don't ever open that bottle to do headlights because I usually just use whatever I have open. Sure, honestly, there's no secret mission there. Like if you have ceramics laying around, just use a ceramic coating to finish them off. But there are a lot of people that run, body shops, they do headlight correction. So that is kind of where that falls into place in my mind. So yeah.
I'd like for the chat to chime in to let us know, or leave a comment after if you're watching it after. Let us know what you do with your extra in the coating bottles, because you're never going through 30, 50, 90, 100 mils on a car. Even if you're going through a few cars, because I would have range anxiety if I only have like 15, 20 mils left and I know I have to do a car. I'm like, I'm not going to, I'm not going to risk that. I, just start with a new bottle. But I
want to try it on like the sinks and the toilet, the things that like I don't want to clean. I want to just I want to see if it works.
But But yeah, what are you guys coding out there with your extra stuff? But
throw that in the
G
chat.
Davis, overuse of buzzwords is also people's number one complaint about Luke Berge.
Yeah.
Who knew?
And just to answer juice free, yes, multi-dressing is still available. Yes, I've never tried that one though, but yes, it's still available.
There we go.
For sure.
I think we got to get juice free on the cast. He's been she, whatever they are, has been.
They're all Juicy's all over the place.
Yeah,
he's
totally.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see what else. We've got some questions here. The wonderful Scott Graves has a question. JB Alex and Notorious SBG, as content creators and content consumers, what do you have planned for 2025, and what would you like to see in 2025?
That's a great question because I have an answer.
Let's let our guests go first.
Yes.
Oh man, what do I have planned? I just want to make it through it.
That's the best answer. Good night, guys.
Number one, I just want to survive 2025. So on the content part, obviously, I think everyone knows that I do all the social media and all the content for PNS, and that I work a lot with the rag company too. So I think that one of my goals is, just to keep it fresh. And I think for me, I want to start taking education courses myself on content creation and how to stay ahead of the algorithm. That's that word haunts me at night. So for me, it's not necessarily
oh man,
it does, for real.
Yep.
It's not necessarily that I want, 1 million views or anything, but what I do want is to make sure that the people who have liked our channel or pay attention, I just want to make sure that it's getting pushed to them. And so I really want to figure out the algorithm and the, I just want to immerse myself more in the education on how to be most effective, because I think this year I saw a lot of people putting out really great content, really, really great content, but it just hardly reaches anybody. And then, so I go, well, I feel like we need to do it the other way. We got to figure out how to get in front of everyone and then worry about making great content.
Sign me up for whatever class that you find, because I think we could all benefit from that.
The SBG Masterclass 2025.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be. That's what my 2025 goals are, is to just learn all of that,
that content
depth,
game,
and not so much making it, but getting it in front of people, and getting it in front of the people that you want to get it in front of, right? I don't care about getting a ton of views or likes that aren't really people. You know what I mean? I
want the views that value it.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes sense.
Sure.
For me, I don't know if anybody heard the announcement on the Rag Company Q&A yesterday.
Oh, I'm so excited. Yes, I heard it live with my own voice.
But Alex and I are the halftime show hosts.
Yeah.
And I guess the pre-show, post-show, whatever, all the shows hosts.
Yes.
So
TRCMA 2025.
Yes.
That is correct.
Oh,
so excited.
I'm finally go to Boise for the first time. I get to explore all the places of lore that I've heard for years and years.
Mocha Moose, the whole bit.
Maybe come dust Sydney's cabinets up top where where dust accumulates. Maybe someone doesn't see.
Yeah.
You can use the mitt, Joey. You can use the mitt.
Yeah, there we go.
The mitt. Yes, it's already up there. All you have to do is stick your hand in it and run down the front.
Yeah, I've been excited about going back since I left, and I wasn't even invited back yet. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Yeah,
such a great week. I can't wait. I can't wait to have you
I'm excited to. I'm excited that you'll be there too. To I don't know, just kind of keep us on
in check.
In check. Yeah,
Because Joey, this will be my 4th time going. But Joey's gonna be a little starstruck, I think.
I think I
when
you normally get starstruck, but maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's such a great week. Such a great week. It's awesome.
Do you have any tips? Everyone was giving SEMA tips. Do you have any? You two are seasoned
Boise tips. There. You have to say it right. Boise, not Boise.
I know how to say it.
There is probably equally a lack of sleep, wouldn't you say, Doer?
Man,
we stay up late.
Sleep.
Yeah, we still stay up late. there's always interesting situations.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, very much so.
Half of them
what happens in Boise stays in Boise. It sounds
half
like.
of them involve chip cookie.
Yeah.
But no, not really any. I mean, it's just like it's just such a great week. It's like going to Disneyland for a week. Like it's so. I mean, the rad company's so great. The way that they treat all the vendors that come in. I mean, you're like red carpet every day, and it's just.
Cool.
And then you get to hang out with different people every day because there's different companies coming in every day. And it's just so great. And the dinners at night, like the whole thing is just.
I'm honestly looking. I think I'm looking a little bit more forward to the after hours stuff.
Yeah,
the extracurriculars. I think are the best.
I didn't do that in SEMA or in Vegas because it's just there. Everyone's spread out everywhere. It's hard to organize that. But when you're all in one place and all going to the same place, I'm excited about that too.
Shout out to Bergie. When the first time I met him in person, great person to meet. We went out to the because that was the year when they did Jack's video. And Levi, his son Jack, Bergie, and I, we went out to the Bruno sand dunes, and Luke was the only one to climb to the top. Like we're literally just shooting the breeze. We turn around, and Luke is hauling his butt up there and gets to the top. I'm like, oh, he made it. Okay, yep, I could not do that right now. But so
fun.
Yeah, it's a great time. I mean, like. You can either end up at Chip Cookie literally buying them out and then go to the other Chip Cookie, or you end up at Dane's house, or you end up at Anthony's house, or Sydney's house, or somewhere.
Yep.
And it's
and I think some people end up in some people end up at bars. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Ooh, people. We'll have to talk backstage.
Joey, you're gonna have to fight me for the Zamboni.
I'm not riding that thing. I know that is his vehicle. I'm not touching it.
You're gonna have to man spread the fit on that. But
I'm pretty sure it has a Canadian flag on it.
Yeah,
there is a Canadian flag.
I made the little license plate for it. So
you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I have not seen the Zamboni since the redo. I don't know where it is.
No,
it's probably in the pile of hex lights.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where it is.
We'll have to text Gabe. Gabe probably knows where it is.
Yeah.
They're probably doing a full rebuild for me. I think that's what they're doing.
Oh, it's probably gonna turbo.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's probably in the shop. It's probably in the shop.
It's gonna make Canadian geese noises. That's what it's gonna do.
Doer, what is your 2025? Does it involve TRCMA? What is your goal for?
Yeah, it does. I think just kind of continuing this podcast, keeping it fun and light and just having amazing people on it. And just, keeping to develop relationships in the industry. And then on a personal level with the YouTube channel, I've been trying to push a lot throughout this year. I did have a goal to try and hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Currently at 936. Not that anyone's counting.
Go subscribe to Bucky VW.
So and even if I don't hit that number, whatever, I don't really care. It'll happen eventually. But it's just a nice round number, because you have all these great companies, TRC, ADS, PNS doing all these great things, and I'm just overwhelmed with products and the support that I've been getting, and you kind of, it's like, I just want to use everything all the time. Right. So but just kind of finding a niche of because I've kind of been playing with the long form and then the shorter stuff. I'm not quite in the YouTube shorts realm yet. I just
I've seen you wear shorts on YouTube.
Oh, jeez. The something because I many years ago, I worked in the photography industry and sales and stuff like that. And I was doing a lot of photography myself, like weddings and, automotive photography and things like that. And then with video, but something about portrait video just bothers me, video is supposed to be landscape to me, just 16:9 or whatever. And, just flip my camera horizontally to get vertical. It's just tricky for me. But that's where the views are in the YouTube shorts.
It is. I know that's been my challenge too.
That's been my trouble with the new gimbal is I want to say it works better horizontally.
It does.
And I'm trying to compensate for what it's not doing for me when it's vertical. It's there's a learning curve, and I'm watching YouTube videos about how to use this damn thing.
Yep. I did learn how to shoot in landscape and turn it into portraits. So that's making my life a little bit better. But that you have to like think about ahead of time.
If you get your framing on, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of tying with framing, if I could frame this bottle in a picture frame, crystal wash, I would absolutely do. Anyone else use crystal wash? Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I don't think Sydney's ever used it. I'm just kidding.
It's because that's one of those legacy products that's just been chilling forever.
Yep.
That's always been available. That has kind of hit this mainstream. It's hit the algorithm, if you will. And like I'm gonna tomorrow the weather's looking promising tomorrow, and I purposely left the cars like they are horrendous. And I think just blasting that and just letting it chill, because it's counterintuitive to spray it on and let it crystallize. The panel's cool.
Feels wrong.
It does. Yeah. And I think a really important factor, because I've seen so many comments like, oh, can I use it in direct sun, blah, blah, blah. And like it's been brought up so many times, the temperature of the panel is way more important than the elements outside of that with direct sun and stuff like that.
Yeah. I got to put a hoodie on real quick. I'm freezing.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, no, crystal washes. Oh my gosh, amazing, right? So great. So great.
Yeah, definitely a favorite for sure.
Yeah, the mini's been outside in the rain for a good part of the week, so it's going to get a little love.
Definitely be upwind of it. If you're sensitive and are downwind, definitely have like a mask or something, because I've had some crystal wash hits, and that's if you're not fully awake, that'll certainly do it.
Well, it's like a rite of passage, right?
Yeah. Our good friend Jeff C. Quick question for Sydney. I know your team PNS first, but how does Stout stack up against CCI Advance?
Yeah, I love this question. So I love this question. I'm a huge fan of CCI. Huge fan. So that I was using CCI ever since it came out. I was using CCI Advanced. I love those guys. It's an amazing coating. But in all honesty, that was kind of my benchmark that I had to beat. Because that is what I was using. And so I had to find something and, work with Dave on something that would make me switch. So I would say, and I have not used it yet, but CCI's new Revolution, I have heard from other users that that the Stout is kind of more similar to Revolution. I haven't used Revolution yet, but their Advanced, which was their original coating, absolutely phenomenal coating, really easy to put on. The big difference is Advanced, I could coat like a whole half of a car and then wipe it off. And Stout, you're like 30 seconds. So you're like a half a panel. So it reacts completely different, but it does have some of the same characteristics, as in, it looks like the car was just, wiped down with petroleum jelly, super user-friendly, fast cure. It does have a faster cure than Advanced. So it probably is a little bit longer term of a coating, so probably a little bit more durable. But I will say though, I'm just probably like in September, I started getting a lot of those maintenance with the cars that I had put Advance on right when it came out, and holy moly, like so nice, really, really nice. So I am still a huge CCI Advanced fan. I'll still use it. I will probably put that for me in my shop. I will probably put that in the place of Classic right now. So I'll still use it as my like 3 to 5 year coading. And then I'll use Stout for that longer term one until we upgrade Classic, even though I really love Classic. But I'll still use CCI because I love, Michael Hill, who developed that, is an amazing human being. And I fully support them. It's a great coating. So I have nothing bad to say about it, but it was kind of my benchmark of, I had to get somewhere where I liked, our coating more, and we got there. Is that awful?
Now, speaking of CCI, I know that you said that like their water spot remover is absolutely killer.
Oh yeah.
Did you mention, or did I dream it up, that PNS is maybe working on like a consumer?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
It's not, honestly, like I'll share that. Like it is something that Dave is working on. It's not on our list of like entering final stages. It's just something that we are working on, because we do have a great water spot remover. It just can't be shipped, and so it's hard to get. But it is great. It's not a gel though. I would like a gel.
Sure.
But the CCI one's really, really good. And
Cool.
you know what I love about it is it can go on glass.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I really love.
Oh my God, I've made that mistake many times.
Yeah.
I go, this will be fine on glass, and then I go, what have I done?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's it's an interesting topic too, how you say that CCI is a little bit more forgiving when you're applying it. You know, you can go a little bit further. So, and I think that if people are hesitant with coatings, I mean, I obviously haven't done a ton of coatings personally, but you know, I was super kind of afraid of it before, but I think just, you know, do a little area, see how it feels, and like try different increments, and you know, don't be afraid kind of moving forward, is, you know, mess around a little bit, see what works, because everybody's
Sometimes I
temperature
get
and humidity
excited
is
about
different.
the stress of a coating. I go,
Oh, 100%.
give it to me.
100%.
Yeah.
Because you know, you spend all this time prepping, which is obviously the most amount of work, and then you know, certain coatings you can go around lickety split, no big deal. But you know, just have fun, right? You know, once you get your technique down. But that's, you know, and I think that's kind of a good separation with ceramic coatings, is that not every ceramic coating is going to be the exact same. Like you could even have Stout, you know, in my climate, Joey's climate, you know, and have completely different result because the humidity is different, overall temperature is different.
Yeah, so, and you have to find what works for you. I mean, Stout is definitely like, it's a fantastic coating, but if it stresses you out to wipe on and wipe off that quickly, you know, definitely until you're comfortable. CCI is great because, like I said, it has like a 3 to 8 minute window. I mean, it's a huge window. And so literally I could coat a half a car and then start wiping it off. The only problem with that is you can tend to forget where you started or where you've wiped off. And so, you know, at first with Stout, I was kind of stressed out about the 30-second, but it's really, because it's so easy to wipe it off, it's like, it doesn't matter. You know, Legend at 30 seconds to a minute stressed me out because it just did, you know, it just did. And so where Stout is so easy to wipe off, it doesn't stress me out, but both really, I mean, really great coatings.
I'm so meticulous with my details that like I honestly don't mind when it's like half a panel or one panel at a time, because like I just, it's the way my brain works and how I keep track of where I've been. Like I don't mind when it's small sections.
And I've kind of go ahead.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. I was gonna say I've kind of adjusted my method with coatings too, is that I'll always start in the middle of a panel, like the middle of the hood, and then work my way out and down so that I'm not leaning over a coated area. And I think it was Levi that first said that, and then I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, because I wouldn't do the roof and then the door, or I'm sorry, the door and then the roof, because like you're leaning over, and you know, even though you've wiped off any, you know, residual, there's still coating on there that's curing. So anytime you,
that's why Juice Free wants an apron that specifically has a plastic lined pocket for a clay bar, because he still uses clay bars.
That's awesome.
So
Juice Free.
I wanted to pull this comment up real quick from Ryan at Fine Detailing. He says he coats his wash bucket, and I can attest to this because this man sold me a bucket dolly setup. I don't know if you saw it, Sydney. It's teal. It's
beautiful. I did. Yes. So cool.
And it wasn't until like I think he shipped it that he goes, "Oh, by the way, it's coated in C6 hydro." And I was like,
"Oh Lord,
what?"
Oh boy,
oh my gosh! Nice. So I guess there's a use for those half empty bottles or whatever. Coat your buckets. Coat your dollies.
Yeah, I would have. Cool. So he did the inside and outside, or just the inside of the buckets?
Of his buckets?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Someone said,
I think I need to do the outside. I don't like my buckets to be dirty, so I think I need to do both. I think I need to do the inside and the outside.
Yeah, I definitely dry my buckets off with a towel. After I've like rinsed them all out and because I don't want water spots on my.
Well, and I find that I can't. I mean, I had the Gamma Steel lids because every once in a while I'll go to the paint spray with a bucket.
Yeah.
But you'll never get all the water out because that lip kind of holds.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you'll never get that lip off either if you try.
I
tried to switch to another bucket setup, but use my same lids, and I just bought new ones because I couldn't get them off.
Yeah.
You'd need gloves and a mallet. But can we get an overview of Crystal Wash, please? I'm not sure what it is. So it's a oxalic acid, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the SDS because it has that listed too.
Yep.
Which, shout out to SDSs for being clickable in 2 clicks and you got it.
Right.
I think that's the law.
Something like that.
In America.
But it's a very... It's a product that I think you just have to use, because trying to sell someone on it, you spray it on, let it attack the organic fallout, because organic fallout and I think regular industrial fallout are 2 very different things that I think people mix too much. Like rail dust is not organic,
Right.
Crystal wash isn't gonna bleed purple.
No.
Right.
No.
Nope.
But for the sap, for the there's a lot of stuff flying around in the air.
Yeah, and what's fun about Crystal Wash is Crystal Wash, that's one of those basement finds, right? Crystal Wash has been around since before clay bars were made. And so that was its job, was to break away those contaminants and make them unavailable to stay attached to the surface, is the best way to describe it. And honestly, I use Crystal Wash on every single car, because no matter what I'm doing, if I'm doing a coating maintenance or prepping for a coating, it just makes the whole rest of the appointment go better. Like, even in a wash clay seal, it's that much less time that I'm spending. When I'm polishing a car, I have less contamination that, when you're polishing and you start to see those little dots, where the polish is like hanging onto them, like that doesn't happen. Like it just makes everything go better. And I feel like the coating goes on better. Like the whole prep, it's easier to use paint prep. You're just doing less wiping. And Crystal Wash on the wheels before brake busters fire. Oh my God. Crystal Wash is just great. Yeah, it's just great.
Juice Free wants to get controversial, so he says, are you going to be working with 3D now since they connect to PNS?
Let's do it. So no. So it's funny to read all the chatter out there. Everybody thinks that because the same company owns 3D and PNS that all of a sudden they're going to be one, and absolutely not. Like 3D is a very well-established company. They have great products, well-established products, and they run their own thing. PNS is still completely PNS. We don't exchange recipes. You just won't see that happen. I know that's what everybody wants to happen, but it's just not going to happen. So no, I won't be doing anything for 3D. They have their whole own team. I do work with them, obviously, like marketing meetings and things like that. We work with the people from 3D and they're great, but I won't be like representing 3D, if that's what you're asking. I won't be making videos for 3D or anything like that. They have their own team. And so I think that was one thing that's important to ATG, is to have authentic representation. And, I have the 3D products and I use some of them. There's ones I like, there's ones I don't like.
Sure.
And
as
same
with any
goes for
product.
PNS, honestly. Same absolutely for PNS. There's products I don't like, and you don't ever hear me talk about them. And so no, that won't happen. But I work with them behind the scenes, and they're great people. But I won't be representing 3D. So no.
Right.
Very good.
Very cool. This is a great question. I think that Sydney, can Stout be frozen? The reason I ask is it's really cold and my shipments are at risk of freezing.
Yeah. So we get a lot of questions this time of year like this. So every chemical kind of has its limits of freeze-thaw cycles. Most chemicals are like 1 to 2. So really, once the product comes to you, you don't need to worry about if it froze during shipment generally, because that's its first freeze-thaw cycle. I would try to slowly defrost it, not quickly. If something does arrive, frozen, I would try to, the slower you can defrost it, the better for the product. But I would absolutely make every effort to never let Stout freeze again. If it does come frozen, don't freak out. Maybe set it, somewhere a little bit warmer, and then a little bit warmer, and then wherever you plan on storing it. The other thing you can do if it comes frozen is stick it straight in the fridge. Let it defrost in the fridge. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but coatings can be in the fridge. So what is that, like 40 degrees? What's a typical fridge? 40, 42?
I think I think so.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So I would honestly stick it in the
mine
fridge.
is set too low. Maybe that's why everything freezes.
Yeah. But just try to not let it refreeze. But we don't need to freak out if we get bottles frozen.
4 degrees
at
Celsius
this time of year. This time of year, that's very hard to avoid.
We have a question from Masterson's Car Care. I wonder if this
Masterson's
is Greg Masterson. Thank you for
chemical
tuning in.
guy.
Question. I watched so many of this man's videos back in the day. Are ceramic coatings being oversold to customers as bulletproof? It's a good question.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of companies do still. You know, me, myself, in my business, I am pretty honest with my customers on what the limits of a coating are going to be, because that's my name on that. You know, I don't tell them what brand I use. I don't make crazy claims, because if something goes wrong with that coating, they're coming back to me. They could care less what brand I use. So I definitely don't sell them, but I definitely think they are, because I hear a lot of people going like, "Oh, I thought it would never scratch," or "I thought it couldn't get water spots," and I was like,
no swirls.
"Where did you?
Why do I have to wash my car again? I thought, you know."
So. Yeah. So I do think that they're being oversold as bulletproof for sure.
100%.
You know, the ones we hear like starting on fire. I did have a Ferrari catch on fire and it lived to tell the day, but I don't think it's because of the coatings, but the coatings did survive.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I think we definitely underplay the coatings. You know, and I do for sure in my own shop. I'm pretty, you know, because like I say, that's my name on that, not PNS, not anybody else's. That's my name on that coating. And
I don't want my neighbor coming back and being like, "You told me this wouldn't scratch." You know?
I look at them and I go, "If you park in the sprinklers, it's going to water spot. If you go through the car wash, eventually," I say it's going to be harder to scratch, but it's still going to scratch.
Exactly,
for sure.
Yeah, and then because I've had customers that I've done coatings for, and you know their knowledge of detailing is very, very limited. And they even say, they're like, "So I don't need to wash my car again?" And I'm like, okay, so obviously this is getting to you in some channel somewhere. And you don't even follow near the stuff that, you know, I do and another enthusiast do. But I'm like, it's going out there, you know, like people are starting to kind of understand it. But I think just to tie up the wrap up the day, here. Anna.
Because you did mention that there are things that you don't like. So is there something you don't like that you want redesigned so that you would like it?
Yeah. And unfortunately, I can't say too much about it because we're actually working on it right now. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's things that, you know, and
are you saying absolutely?
No.
Okay.
I love absolute the way it is. No V2 of absolute. No, there's definitely most of the new products for PNS that have come out have been ground up new products, right? There's been some that we pulled out of the basement and given new life to, but they didn't necessarily get a formula change. But there's a couple right now that we're working on for TRCMA that were just products I don't use.
Right.
And so working on making them better. So actually
they need the Sydney stamp of approval.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The old SPG stamp.
Yeah.
Well,
so definitely
it sounds like we've got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Well, I think we've caught up on our questions. I'm sorry if we've skipped any. Sydney's very popular, and the questions come through.
Yeah, we could certainly talk for hours. So we'll.
Yes,
this certainly won't be the last time we're going to have her on.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for having me.
Willing to come back.
So
absolutely.
We appreciate you making the time on a Friday evening.
Yeah, we know you got stuff to do.
Yeah.
What's for dinner tonight, Sydney? What's
Well, there's probably no dinner. I showed you guys before we went live. I'm working on I don't even know what this is. It's like a 77, 78, or 79 Trans Am, like Smokey and the Bandit, right? Black with the bird on the hood. And we talked at the top of the show, dirty old cars, right? So it's hilarious because I've been working at the rag company this week with Jamie, you know, and he's doing this dirty old cars thing. You guys will hear all about it. But yeah, like they had like literally rats, right? And we always joke about how I don't detail dirty cars. So this guy called me and said, I have this barn find Trans Am. And I was like, oh, I hate dirty cars, but it's a Trans Am. So I said I would take it, and like hilarious. Like it literally is cleaner than my car. It had like a few leaves on the carpet. Like it was
nothing.
And it has like 25,000 miles on it. So it's hilarious. It just, it looks like somebody used a California duster. So I'm having some difficulties with the paint, but I'm almost done. But so I've been working on that all day.
So no dinner due to the Trans Am.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a couple hours
That's not
left.
the answer. That's not the exciting answer I was looking for. But
I know.
I'll take it.
DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Heck yeah!
The best of them.
If you want to be excited, Joey, I'm going to a steakhouse for a friend's birthday, so
I better get a picture. I better get a picture of that steak.
The Alberta beef hits different. I'll tell you what.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, thank you very much, Sydney, for
thank you.
spending your Friday night with us.
Thank you. Yeah. Very cool. Well, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to 2025. I look forward to getting to spend some, extra time with both of you guys in person, and it's gonna be
so excited. So excited.
Very excited.
Well, thank you again, everyone. I think we peaked at like 46 viewers. That's like insane. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the good questions, and we will see you next week on what is it, the 20th? We've got a good guest. Doer dropped a hint earlier. Doer dropped a hint earlier. What was it about Saturday morning?
Little Saturday morning, relaxing around the fire entertainment.
Right on. Well, we will leave it at that. Thank you again, Sydney, and take care, everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.